Alright, chat, I wanted to check out this video, exploring abandoned games from my childhood. This thumbnail caught me by surprise, and it unlocked a deep memory in me. Because when I was young, I played so much Toontown. So it says, exploring abandoned games.
Remember those?
So, I'm thinking Poptropica. Oh my god, I used to play so much Poptropica. Well, actually not that much. That'd be a lie. I didn't play that much, but I played a little bit of Poptropica. And then Webkinz. Webkinz is like, oh my god. I actually used to play a lot of Webkinz. Y'all ever played Webkinz? Webkinz, you used to buy the little animals, and then you would see the code on them, and then you'd put the code in the game, and then you'd get like an actual animal for it. Oh my god. I feel like that's a game that not many people played. But Jesus. My childhood games are probably Webkinz, Toontown, Maple Story. That's another one that y'all probably don't even know about.
Remember those classic online kids games from back in the day? Games like Club Penguin, Poptropica, Toontown? They used to be massive with millions of active players, but now a lot of them have either shut down or are practically deserted. So I'm exploring 6 of these classic games to see how abandoned they really are.
Is that Wizard 101?
All-time favorites, Poptropica.
Oh!
And to find out if there's anyone left in these games or if they're completely dead, my goal is to make a new friend in each of them, because if I can do that, then I'd say it's a pretty good sign that the game still has some life left.
Oh my god, that's
And
Toontown.
if I can't, then
That's
I'm
Club
considering it
Penguin.
another abandoned game of the past.
Everybody knows Club Penguin.
Poptropica is actually one of the only games that hasn't been entirely shut down, so I'm thinking it should be the easiest one to find players in. This game used to be one of my favorites back in the day.
This game was crazy.
These different islands around the map and do adventures on them. It was a lot of fun, and if you wanted to meet up with other players, there were common rooms on each island that you could go to, and there you could chat or play mini games with people.
Chat, the games like these are like a lost generation, aren't they? Does anybody... Like, are there Flash games like this anymore? I feel like that's not really a thing anymore. But when I was a kid, there were so many games like this. Like, yeah, Poptropica, Club Penguin, Webkinz, Wizard 101, Toontown, or whatever it's called, Lazy Town. There were so many games like that.
But I'm wondering if there will be anyone still in those common rooms today, or if they're completely empty. So I made an account and logged on, and immediately I realized that Poptropica is so much different from what it used to be. All of the old maps that I remember aren't there anymore. Sharktooth Island, Spy Island, Big Nate Island, they're all gone, and I couldn't find any of the common rooms like they had back in the day where you can meet up with people, because they've been replaced by the arcade. So I joined it, and there was literally no one there. I tried matchmaking, and in all 3 mini games, I waited like 5 minutes and then got disconnected. And I did this on a weekend too, and it was literally a ghost town. So yeah, Poptropica is officially abandoned.
Damn,
this might be
that's
a lot harder
sad.
Next up is Club Penguin. You know it, we all know it, everyone loves it. Club Penguin, it's a banger game. And I'm sure you know that it got shut down in 2017, but I found a private server
I
can
heard
still
about
play
that.
on that is literally the original game.
What's up, J-Man?
Is anyone actually going to be playing on it?
Surely.
Or is it another completely different game? I actually wasn't sure what the answer would be before playing the game. Originally, I was
surely there's people playing this, right?
Just because of how popular Club Penguin was back in the day. But whenever I joined, I did not expect this many people. Yeah, this game is still popping. But let's see if I can friend anyone. Because there's so many people, I thought it would be easy and I'd make a friend instantly.
They're all AFK!
But all the people in the town seemed to be AFK or just ignored me. So I left and tried meeting people somewhere else. And
chat, they're all bots! They're not even real!
And the same thing
It's the illusion of real players, but they're not real.
just happened. I started to wander around the map, and I just looked everywhere trying to see if anyone was actually playing the game or if they're just all AFK. And I went to the beach, and I finally found some people talking. They were having an animal party, so I figured this was my chance. They told me that in order to join, I had to get an animal costume, so I started grinding the minigames because I had to get enough coins to buy one. These games really brought back my childhood. I played the surf one, which is an absolute classic, Puffle Roundup, and the minecart one, which you can get so many
I didn't play
coins
this
from.
game
It's
like that.
actually
I don't
insane.
really know any of
And
this.
it put me at enough to get the whole cow suit. By the time I got back to the beach, I guess the party was over because
No!
so I kept looking around the map to make a new friend, I wasn't having any luck, so I figured maybe I needed some help. And I found this one guy and told him about my plan and asked if he had any tips. He gave me a pretty good strategy, so I was off to test the new plan. The real reason I actually wanted to make a friend on here was so I could play card jitsu because there was no one here who wanted to play with me, and that game was like my favorite back in the day. It was so fun and I just wanted to play it again, but literally nobody would play. Eventually, I found a group of people and started making conversation just like the plan. After a bit of talking, I finally lured P402535 in my trap, and they had fallen prey to my scheme of becoming their friend.
Card jitsu.
And they eventually friended me. They then told me to meet them at the club, so I went over there, and after getting lit at the club, I asked the question.
This guy played Club Penguin for like 5 hours.
Play, but first I had to follow them. They told me to go to the stadium, and I just really wanted to play card jitsu at this point, but I went anyway. Once we got there, they asked to visit my igloo, and I agreed. So we went over to my igloo, and then they wanted me to buy a sofa. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't even care at this point. I just brought the freaking sofa because I was so ready to play some card jitsu. After doing all that, I thought they were finally going to agree to play, and then out of nowhere, they just dropped this.
Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Woo!
What? And we play every day. My boyfriend in
I'm
this
just trying to play card jitsu, dog.
Yeah. So, safe to say that Club Penguin is definitely not totally abandoned.
Woo!
Next up, we got Toontown.
Damn.
This one I
Oh,
remember quite
yes.
fondly. And
Oh,
funny enough,
yes.
I still have the password to my old Toontown account
Yes.
before the game got shut down in 2013. Luckily, though, there's a fan-made version called Toontown Rewritten, but is it as active as the original?
No.
Or did Toontown die when the game got shut down? Well, let's find out. I booted up Toontown and
The game
created
is
a
dead.
character.
It's dead.
I had to choose a
The
name
game's
from
dead.
the preset list, and I went with Dr. Pepper.
Hey, it's me, Dr. Pepper from the hit drink, Dr. Pepper.
I joined the game and immediately noticed that this place was a ghost town. Like, there was literally nobody around, which I was kind of surprised by because this game was pretty big back in the day. While I waited for some players to show up, I decided to tackle my first few tasks. The first mission, defeat a cog, which are basically the bad guys in this game.
Oh, this makes
The way
me
to
so
defeat them is
sad.
by pranking them with gags. Like, you can pie them in the face or squirt them with a flower. So I needed to buy some gags using jelly beans, and to get jelly beans you have to play these mini games, which normally you can play with other
Oh, chat, this was literally my game, dude. Oh, this makes me so sad seeing how, like, I didn't actually even know it shut down in 2013. That's kind of crazy. God, that makes me sad.
players, but since there's no one here, I had to play on my own. After I finished a minigame, I had enough jelly beans for some gags, so I went back and killed my first cog. I returned to headquarters for my next task, make a friend, which seemed pretty impossible since
Yeah.
I'm the only one here. I wandered into different
Good
buildings
luck,
around the
dude.
plaza looking for people, but all I found were AI characters, and even they wanted nothing to do with me. After looking for way too long, I finally realized that I'm an idiot and I had been in the completely empty server. There were actually over 1,800 people online across all servers, so I switched to one with more players, and man, this place was booming. I tried making conversation,
Yeah, that's
but
booming. There's like 10
pretty much
people there.
everyone I ran up to
Whoa.
just ignored me.
Jojo.
I finally managed to track down this guy named Wrinkle Nugget, and we chatted for a bit, and even teamed up to defeat a cog, but before I got a chance to friend him, he just left. So I came up with a new plan. In the game, you can throw parties, and I figured if I threw a party, like the biggest Toontown party in history, then people would have to friend me. So I went to plan one, and apparently hosting a party cost 100 jelly beans, so I had to grind some mini games. After what felt like forever, I finally racked up 100 jelly beans and set my party time for 3:30, which meant I only had 15 minutes to invite as many people as possible.
Hey, it's Mr.
I
Mommy.
started going up to people and inviting them, but most of them said no, because I guess they're busy.
Yo, you wanna come to my party? It's gonna be legendary. Nice. Please come, bro.
A few of them did say yes though, and I told them to tell their friends because I wanted this party to be huge. And finally the time came. I kicked off the party.
Mr. Mommy, did you
and
ever
honestly,
play Toontown when
it
you
was
were a
bit
kid?
Underwhelming. It was just me and one other player named Max, and we were just chilling. But a few minutes later, more people slowly started to trickle in, and it started to feel like a real party.
No!
We started just running around for some reason.
Oh, what the hell?
And then after that, we started just talking about life. Princess M was talking about how much books she reads, and I asked Gamer if he really likes to game, and he definitely does. After talking for a bit, everyone got bored
Club
because
Penguin and Poptropica. Oh, we already watched those two. Club Penguin has some players, and Poptropica is completely dead. Not a single person plays the game anymore.
apparently you can
What's
like
up,
buy
Angel
really
Morning?
cool stuff for parties, like cannons and trampolines and stuff.
I wonder if he talks
But
about
I couldn't
Webkinz.
afford
Oh
any
my
of that,
god.
So
He talks
we were
about
just hanging out in
Webkinz.
an empty field. I suggested we come up with a game to play.
Going to your
then
house.
Someone said we should play Dr. Pepper Says.
Have you ever
which
played
is like
Wakes
Simon
the Deep?
Says,
No.
but Dr. Pepper, because that's my name in case you forgot. Everyone was actually having fun with it, and it got pretty intense until Gamer finally ended up winning. I asked him what he wanted to do since he won, and he just said,
Run!
classic Gamer. So yeah, the party was surprisingly pretty wholesome, and I ended up friending everyone there before logging off. So it's safe to say that Toontown is still alive and well. Next game, Webkinz. This game came out in 2005, and it was a
Oh my god, I can't believe he actually talks about it. I know this game was like, you know, it was big enough, but I didn't think it was that huge that he would talk about it. Oh my god. Oh, this brings back so many memories.
pretty cool concept because you would go buy these real life stuffed animals, and each of them came with a little tag that had a code that you put in, and you can use that stuffed animal in the game. And
Kids nowadays, bro. Kids nowadays. I feel so sorry for y'all, man. I feel so sorry for y'all. Because there has never been anything as crazy as this. Oh my god.
back in the day, this game was a huge phenomenon. Like, millions of people played. It was big. It was a big game. But now the developers have kind of shifted focus to a new version of the game, Webkinz Next, which has drawn a lot of attention away from the classic game. And with that in mind, it got me wondering if there's even a fraction of the original player base still around today, especially since the game is 19 years old. And by the way, I never even actually grew up playing Webkinz, but one of my buddies suggested I play it, so I gave it a shot. Since I never had a real Webkinz stuffed animal, I had to use the free digital one that they give you whenever you start the game, so I chose the dog, and I named him Mr. Dog. I did the tutorial real quick, and then it was time to give Mr. Dog some clothes. I picked out this suit with some boots, a top hat, and these glasses, and he was looking good. But what's the point of having this much swag without having anyone to show it off to? So I booted up this phone to find some people online, and I thought this is where you talk to people in the game, because it said 0 out of 500, and I assumed that meant 0 people online, so I was like, oh, well, I guess this game is just completely dead. But the next
Yeah, that's just, if I remember correctly, that's just how many people you have friended that are online, right? Like, that's your friend slots. Like, you have a maximum of 500 friend slots, or no?
day I did some research and found out that the phone is actually just where your friends list is, because there's actually places around town that are public and you can meet people there. So I went to the clubhouse to see if anyone was still active in this 19-year-old game. First I went to the park to find people and it was pretty much dead. The only interaction I had in the park was I did play checkers with this guy named Henry, except he didn't say anything after that. He just left. And the next room I tried meeting people was the reading room, which actually had 6 people in, so that was a pretty big deal. But literally the only thing people would say is trick or treat. Like, nobody was talking in this chat. But I don't really blame him, because in this game the only chat feature they have is one where you have to select from a huge list of different things to say. Like, you can't type in whatever you want. So I left. Then I went to the vet, which had some people in. I don't even know what you're supposed to do in this, but yeah, nobody in there said anything, of course. I tried like pretty much every room that you can go in, and nobody was saying anything, like not a single word, until I finally went to the game room, which had a decent amount of people. I think I had like 5. Whenever I joined, I started playing pool with someone and they were actually chatting with me. It was just a pretty weird conversation. Because of the way you talk in this game, it was going to be pretty much impossible to friend someone, especially because nobody's even talking in the first place. But eventually I went to the welcome room and there was actually someone there and they started talking to me. Eventually I actually friended him. So since I was technically able to make a friend, I guess that considers it not dead. But
nah, that's pretty dead.
I mean,
what are these games?
It's pretty dead.
So that's Wizard 101. What's this other one?
This game was definitely not for me, though. On to the next game. Okay, the next game is another one that's not really technically abandoned in a sense, because it's still an active game and it's been around the whole time. It never shut down or anything.
Yeah, a lot of these, yeah, like Toontown, Club Penguin, I don't think, maybe Poptropica. These games, they were all shut down, but they're like fan remakes of them.
But it's Wizard 101. This game used to be absolutely massive back in the day. I remember always seeing so many commercials for this game.
I never played this
it so badly, but I was never able to. But yeah, this game was huge, and apparently in 2014 there were 50 million accounts. But now, 16 years after the game came out,
it actually looks really good.
I'm really curious if there's anyone actually still playing it, because I kind of doubt it. But there's only one way to find out. So I downloaded the game and started customizing my character. The game has a choose your
Wow, the game looks
name
really good.
sort of thing, just like in Toontown. And the name I chose, Robert Moontail, because Robert sounds like Globert. I played the tutorial, and once I was done with the tutorial, I got spawned into like the welcome area or whatever. And this game has the same chat as Webkinz. Like, you can't talk in it.
I hate that.
So
Among Us
annoying.
has that too.
I looked it up and see if there's a way
Hell,
around
Among
it,
Us.
and there is, but you have to purchase something to verify it for some reason. Yeah, it's stupid. So I just had to walk
pay
around
to
talking like a
talk.
default, which means it's going to be a lot harder to find a friend in this one. I loaded in the main area in the game, or the beginning area at least, and there was definitely quite a few people playing. Honestly, more than I expected. I just went up to a bunch of random people, trying to see if anyone would actually talk. I teamed up with this one guy to defeat an enemy, hoping that this would be my chance to be able to make a friend. And he actually answered, but then just left. Yeah, this was really hard to make a friend in this game. I tried joining some other servers, and finally I met this one dude, and he actually answered me. I asked him for some help because I was kind of lost in this game. I asked him if I could join his team, and then he sent me an invite. After that, I kind of just followed him around the map for like a long time because I was hoping we would like fight enemies or like do stuff, but we just kept like running. I kept trying to tell him like I'd help him with.
It might be to prevent cursing. Dude, I don't even understand that, because it's like, just make a swear filter. Just make a swear filter. Like, just let people say whatever. Just make a filter. I don't know. I just think that's kind of, I hate that so much, honestly. When games have a chat, yet you can't say anything you want. You have to go through like a whole dialogue tree to get to what you want, so people don't act weird. Well, if you're worried about people acting weird, then just don't let people talk at all. I'd rather just play a multiplayer game where I can't chat with anyone than having to do like trees like this. I think it makes it way harder to communicate.
This quests and stuff, but we just never did anything. I did friend him though, so there's that. I honestly feel like I would probably like this game. Like, I feel like I could definitely get into it, but there's just so much in the game. You definitely have to have a lot of free time to like really play this game. But as far as if it's dead or not, this one is alive. Time for the next game, Pirates of the
Oh
Caribbean.
my god,
This game came out in 2007 and it shut down in 2013.
Okay, I played this. I completely forgot about this game. Oh my god. I don't think I played it that much. I didn't play it that much, but I did a good amount.
And I'd never even heard of it until now. But I was pretty excited whenever I found out about it because this game looks legit. And what is with Disney shutting down all of their MMO games? It's actually kind of crazy. This one, just like some of the other ones, has a fan-made remake that's basically a one-to-one of the original. I'm not sure how big this game was back in the day, especially because I had never even heard of it.
Pretty
For that
big.
reason, I assumed that there was going to be pretty much nobody playing the game. But I downloaded the game anyway to see for myself. First thing I did was create my character, and wow, there's
Do y'all think this
so
game
much
is going to be like
customization you have in
massive? Like
this.
there's going to be a bunch of people?
It's crazy. You can literally customize how tall you want your nose, like everything. Also, my name is Sea Dog because Globert didn't get approved yet. Once I was done customizing my character, I spawned in a jail cell and Jack Sparrow freed me from it. And then I decided to do some of my quests first and hopefully find some players while doing them. I played for a long time doing missions and stuff before realizing that there's just nobody playing this game. And then I realized that once again I'm an idiot, just like in Toontown, because I was in a server with nobody on it. Once I joined an actual server with people, I found a good amount of active players. And a lot of people just ignore you in these kind of games. That's what I finally realized. Finally, I found this person. I started talking to them, but I think they got creeped out by it because I was just following them. And then they just left. So yeah, that wasn't a very long lasting conversation. A little bit later after that, I met this guy, Wolf Phantom Wrecker.
Someone said, bro, if you like this, you should play Sea of Thieves. Bro, I'm literally max level in Sea of Thieves. I have like hundreds of hours on that game, yes. I played that game a lot before I started YouTube and streaming. I'm literally the highest level.
And this guy was chill. He started talking to me immediately, and I started doing some quests with him. I was honestly like his little sidekick, and I just was following him around doing different things with him. He invited me to his crew, and then we got on his ship. Before we could battle anyone though, we had to repair the ship. Once we got the ship repaired, it was time we got active. He was steering the ship, and I was firing the cannons. We were the ultimate dream team. We were like sinking ship after ship after ship.
Oh,
We
this
were
is a
getting pretty
throwback.
good. So then he asked me if I was up for a boarding. We pulled the nearest ship in and launched ourselves onto their ship.
Holy.
The problem was these were like level 19s and I was level 2. So I was basically doing nothing while he did all the work and just carried me. I was pretty much just running the whole time, and then finally they killed me. Once I respawned, we never met up again, so I logged off, but I'll always have Wolf Phantom Wrecker in my heart. We were the ultimate duo. So this game, because I did find a friend, I'm gonna say not abandoned. However, there is hardly anyone online.
Wow. Video games were in kids' meals. I don't remember that. Yeah, is anyone in this chat old enough to remember when video games were in kids' meals? Nobody, right? I didn't even know that.